Were you of service, Red? Did you serve? You pranced around the city in a Halloween costume, beating the snot out of bad guys. Hey, thank you for your service.
I mean, you could help people, you could save lives.
Actually, I did that.
How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. So today we are checking out some new MCU Marvel Legends, so a little change up from the comic book stuff. I'd been waiting on these figures, was waiting for them to drop in price, and finally I saw a good deal. I got one for 20 and one for 24, which brand new figures at this point. That's a fantastic deal. Normal retail, a little less than almost what it used to be. So like I need to get those. So yeah, today we have Daredevil and Punisher from Born Again, and these figures are awesome. I already filmed the whole video at this point, but these figures are so cool. They did a great job. Like, every once in a while, I know Hasbro sucks, and I'm pretty vocal about that, even though I buy their stuff, and it's mostly because it's the only affordable option around. But even that's not an excuse anymore at this point. So you gotta get those deals. But sometimes they make really good figures, and both of these figures are awesome. So with all that being said, let's get into it.
You're pretty much the last person I expected to find here.
You know you're a wall-to-wall asshole. Power goes out. You got nothing to make a goddamn pot of coffee in this house.
Taking a look at the fronts of the box, it says Marvel Legends series, Daredevil and Punisher, both from Daredevil Born Again Season 1. On the side, we get some artwork of Matt and Frank. On the back of the box, we get a separate blurb for each. Daredevil says, what kind of lawyer is Matt Murdock? A really good one. Ace attorney by day, Matt Murdock pursues justice for those who cannot achieve it themselves. And for Frank, Punisher, it says, after his family was murdered in a criminal government conspiracy, U.S. Marine veteran Frank Castle turns vengeful vigilante and ally to Daredevil. That is, when their interests align. Sorry, a little tongue-tied there. Open window with the headshot at the bottom. Tops of the boxes. Bottoms of the boxes. With all that being said, let me tell you something, Red. Yeah, just, I don't care about the boxes. By the way, I got these, like, Frank was 20 bucks and Matt was still $24.99, so I got them retail, which is nice. Didn't have to pay an exorbitant price, and I waited on these guys. I was waiting for Daredevil to go down, but you know, Punisher for 20, that ain't bad. So they literally came in one day. So there is Matt. And there is Frank. And yeah, I probably won't need another MCU Daredevil or Punisher again, because we got these ones.
They're on the move.
Not gonna do it with your ass hanging out.
Alright, we got our two besties out of their boxes, and I've been fooling around with them. I already took pictures and stuff. I'm not done taking pictures, but my gosh, are these figures fun to play with. Like, you know, I talk smack about Hasbro, and deservedly so, but sometimes they make a really good figure, and both of these are really good figures. Like, Frank head sculpt aside, it's not the worst head sculpt I've ever seen, but it's not fantastic. But these figures are fantastic. I mean, just look at them. They look like they were ripped out of the show. I know we didn't get very much of Punisher in Born Again, but he's going to be in Season 2. We've got that Punisher, I think he's going to be in Season 2. We got that Punisher one-shot special, and then of course he's going to be in Spider-Man, so plenty of reasons to get the new updated Punisher. And then Daredevil looks fantastic. That Charlie Cox head sculpt, I know most of his face is covered, but you can see Charlie Cox like in the chin and stuff. So they did a really good job there. Frank has that tactical body vest with the skull on it. We've mostly just got red and gray for Matt, but there's a lot of detail sculpted in there, going down to the boots. His tonfa, they have the silver painted on the ends. We've got painting around the wrap of Frank's hatchet. So, you know, all the paintwork is there. They didn't skimp out on that, fortunately. And I got Frank for 20 and I got Matt for 24. So I got them for retail, which is pretty awesome. I'd been waiting. I was like, I don't need them yet, but I'm glad I got them when I did. These guys are awesome. And talking about that head sculpt, like, yeah, you can see, damn, why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden? John Bernthal there, and you can see Charlie Cox in there way more, but we got the red around those eyes, the 5 o'clock shadow. And I just think the worst part of the Frank head sculpt is how tall the hair is and how wide it is. Other than that, I think they kind of captured like this. Also, John Bernthal has always got like some kind of tan going on, so I feel like he should be a little less pale. I don't know. But the fade is done very nicely on Frank. That military crew cut, that fade up is done very nicely. And there's lots of texture on there. He's got his American flag patch. By the way, y'all know these two would be in Hell's Kitchen in New York City just absolutely messing up those masked people running around our streets right now. And if you debate that, well, you're just wrong. So they are totally equipped for that with their weaponry. And yeah, I've managed to pull some tricks to make some photography work, and I'll put those things in comparison as well. But I really dig these figures. They're awesome. I can't believe how long it took me to get them, because they just look that good. And I'm like, wow, I was sleeping. These would have been, at least one of them would have been in my top 10 last year. So yeah, definitely love these guys. Maybe I should do a top 10 MCU figures from 2025. Let me know if that's something y'all want to see. Checking out their height. They should be right around the same height, right? Frank is about 6.5. Daredevil is about 6.5. About. I'm not exact here. About. Then we get into the articulation. So we're gonna start with Frankie boy over here. Right? We're gonna start with Frank. Starting at the head. Forward, beautiful amount of movement, separate neck and headpiece. Backwards, same deal. He moves a lot. Side to side, we get lots of movement there because of that double articulation scheme. Shoulders come up 90 degrees. We get kind of butterfly joints. They don't really do anything. Bicep cut, pinless double elbows for that whole, tactical. I'm going to mess someone up with a hatchet look. Torso, upper torso goes backwards, forwards. There is no waist swivel, unfortunately, but that range on that torso kind of makes up for that. It's not terrible. No drop down hips, legs come forward to the side. Butt kicking action, indeed. Thigh cut, no boot cut, but we get rockers and all that stuff. Definitely one of the better articulated MCU figures. I would put these on par with like Deadpool and Wolverine. These guys, and that should be the case going forward with all Marvel Legends, at least the MCU stuff. Start adding in this awesome articulation so you can get Frank looking like he's going scalp hunting with a freaking hatchet. Right? How bad A is that? Sorry, I got the hiccups. That's unfortunate. Checking out Matt here. Same deal with the neck. Lots of movement. Sorry. Lots of movement, backwards, forward, to the side. Shoulders come up, butterfly joints, way over 90 degrees actually. That's kind of nice. Bicep cut, pinless double elbows. So you can have him holding those tonfas over his shoulder, like he just kicked a bunch of butts. Torso articulation, forward, backward. We do have a waist cut. They may have a waist cut on Frank, but the belt made it so I couldn't turn it. But Daredevil gets one. And fortunately, it doesn't break up the sculpt too badly, but it would have been really awesome if they put a ball peg down there. Would have been really freaking cool. Legs come forward to the side. Thigh cut. No boot cut, but we get rockers. We get butt kicking action. And yeah, they can, well, I think if Matt just was posed like this, he would probably be looking a little cocky like, oh, you're challenging me? Oh, two best friends that anyone could ever have knocking each other over. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, the light's in the shot. Boo on you. Look at that. So cool. And then we get accessories. Well, we saw the hatchet for Frank, but I guess I'll bring it even. Oof. I keep knocking that light over. There it is. It's just a hatchet. Nothing crazy. There is some nice texture in the sculpt to make it look like it's been used to hack up a bunch of wannabe losers. And then we get this pistol with an extended magazine. That's pretty cool. Brand new, I believe. I don't think I've seen it before, so that's pretty cool. And then we also get baby knife. New baby knife. For McStabbies. So Frank has all that stuff, and then he also has on top of it extra hands. We get an extra trigger hand for the other hand, and then we get a fist. He doesn't get 2 fists, which would have been nice. It would have been nice for him to have 2 of those open hands for like, I'm gonna wrestle you and tear your head off because I'm Frank Castle. It's terrible, John Bernthal. I apologize. And then for Daredevil, of course, we get his 2 tonfas right there. 2 tonfas, belly clubs, whatever you want to call them. And then we get a rope for them, which it's not bendable, unfortunately. So if you put it in the wrong position, they're going to pop out from each other. But you can make it look like he's jumping rope for sure. Oh, see, it came out. Hold on, I'm going to do this off camera. Because it is annoying. And I don't like the way they did it. There he is, jumping rope. Cha-la-la. That's pretty great, actually. I love that. I don't love that that light keeps going in the shot. That's amazing. Why didn't I think of that before? And then he also gets 2 fists. Well, 2 hands. We get an open hand like Frank has right there. And then a fist. Not 2 of them, unfortunately. And then 2 trigger finger hands for, you know, Daredevil using pistol arrows and pistols and all that stuff. He needs that. We are not alike, Frank. I'm jump roping. You're ready to scalp somebody.
No, 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 no. Wait. Wait.
You know what? Frank does have waist swivel. It's right there. So, I lied. It was just very tight. First of all, for scale and comparison, here they are with their MCU Legends older counterparts, which, gosh, what an upgrade from these guys. Like, it was great to have them, but I think it's time for them to go. Now that we have the new ones, like, I don't see a reason to keep these old ones because they just don't look good. Especially that Daredevil had sculpt on the older Netflix one. Like, there's a vast difference in the likeness. And John Bernthal, not so much. I'd say the older one has a little bit closer of a look, if not a little bit too smooth as far as his face is. But, like, the sculpt is there, and he's got the right skin color. But, you know, that's just, like, my opinion, man. Here they are with some comic book Marvel Legends. We got Cap and Wolverine. Here they are with Matt Murdock and Kingpin. Wilson Fisk. No, the Matt Murdock head does not fit on the new Daredevil for whatever reason. The neck makes it way too long. So, yeah, if you were thinking about swapping those, it doesn't work. Unless you wanted a really long neck Daredevil. Here they are with Jaded Toy Shaggy and Romanky Gun Girl. And lastly, here they are with a couple of losers. We've got some masked wannabes. And I used a Valorverse body for the one on the left. And I used a Monster Force body for the one on the right. And both head sculpts are from the Marvel Legends Sweatsuit Mafia dude. So, yeah, I think that about does it for comparisons, right? It's pretty solid. So yeah, with all that being said, y'all, I'd say these figures are awesome. So that means they were totally worth it to me. I really like the updated articulation for the MCU figures. They got a lot of good things going for them. We got some accessories. We got, like I said, awesome articulation, awesome sculpt, perfect paint jobs. I really don't have any issues with these figures at all. Especially the price, because I got them for cheaper, and I waited a little bit, and I was like, yeah. I remember seeing Daredevil at GameStop, and it was like $27.99, $29.99, and I was like, nope, don't need it that badly. But I finally got them, so that's awesome. If y'all think that this video was awesome, go ahead and smash like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, if you have these figures, if you're waiting for the Daredevil Season 2 figures, if you're passing, how your day's going. Just say hey, do all that stuff, keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ plus community, and if you're protesting, be super duper safe. You know, like we got Frank and Matt in comic books and movies, but not in real life, so just be careful out there. I love y'all, I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
return to...
Found a mythical Walmart end cap.
Ah, Morty, you're still watching this crap, isn't this? To review figures and toys and stuff, aren't you a little old for toys? Ah, geez, Rick, you know, I don't think you should call her a bitch, and I kinda like her videos, so maybe you should shut the up. Q, Morty. Q.